Hits 96, Chattanooga's #1 hit music station. Gino D here with you, and today I have a very special guest in studio. Joining me for an artist profile, I'd like to welcome SHAB to the studio. How are you?
Hello, Chattanooga. Hello, Gino. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
So happy to be in your beautiful city.
It is a beautiful city, isn't it?
Absolutely.
We were talking a little bit before we got on the air here, and you spent a brief time here. You were hoping to come back soon.
Correct.
And I highly suggest you do. We have so many great restaurants and scenic, we call it the Scenic City. That's our nickname. So so many different scenery spots and everything else. So you need to come back and spend some time with us.
Definitely am. It's very vibey.
Shab, for those that do not know you, you have quite the story. I kind of want you to start from the very beginning, and I know there is a lot, so maybe you can give it the elevator's pitch version, maybe a quick little version, but you have an impactful story that people should hear, and I want you to kind of talk about that and then how it all led to music, doing what you're doing now.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let's start 79 when the Iran Revolution started and the Islamic Republic took over. And my dad was working part of the petroleum company for the Shahs. So we take care of the Shah takes care of you. And so when they burned his work down, and of course he had 13 children, and I was his 13th, and I was just born, and I was 6 months old when literally I was born and the revolution started. I was like, what's going on? So, and my mom, unfortunately, my dad, what was happening is we were pro-Shah, and my dad unfortunately went to the hospital because of all the stress was happening, and he was just worried like how he's going to take care of all these kids. And we were doing really well for ourselves, but after this happening, it was like very hard. So, and I remember my mom would tell me there was shootings. They would shoot our house like every other like couple days, you know, and they kidnapped my brothers. Wow. And they were kind of like the breadwinners of the house because they were a little bit older, you know, and so they were able to help with the household things. And so my mom literally had to beg them to give my brothers back.
Wow.
And so, and unfortunately, my father passed away when I was 6 months, and the revolution continued and the Islamic Republic took over. And from there, after the 8 years we were there, my mom sold all her jewelry to take care of us basically for that 8 years. And she's like, this is not a good place to be anymore. We have to figure out how to get out. And I never liked being there, and I would just come home and I had to wear the hijab. And I was like, Mom, I'm 6 years old. No, why do I have to wear this? This is ridiculous. And I would just come home and throw it on the floor. And we're like, I don't want to be here, Mom. So anyway, so we were able to send some of my brothers and sister out, 5 of them, to Germany. And so they were gone for almost like 2.5 years, 3 years. And my mom wanted me to finish, second grade. So at least I knew how to write and read. And then I remember, I think I was like around 8.5, where my mom was like, okay, it's time. I didn't quite finish 3rd grade, but she's like, okay, let's go to Turkey. And I was in Ankara, which is the capital city of Turkey, for almost a year waiting for my paperwork. And so then finally, my paperwork to Germany came so I could go to boarding school. So then I had to say goodbye to my mom for 4.5, 5 years almost.
Oh my
and
gosh.
My sister received me, but the rest of my brothers and sisters that were in Germany had already gone to California. So I missed them again. So I didn't get to see them, but I was with my older sister there. So again, after 4.5, 5 years, praying and begging God, missing my family, I adapted pretty well. I learned the language. I was like a sort of a sponge because when you're young, you just learn everything so much faster. So the good news came, you're going to be reunited with your mom. And so your green card is waiting for you at John F. Kennedy Airport in New York. And so this is where the story starts.
Yeah.
I was 14 by then, and I hadn't seen my mom for almost 5 years. And I had one suitcase, which my album is called One Suitcase.
Yep, we'll get to that.
And so everything I owned in the whole entire world, it was in that suitcase from 1 to 14. And so I got on a Lufthansa flight by myself, speaking no English. And I knew a little bit, but I had just learned German and I knew Farsi. And so I got on a plane, and then I was received by the immigration there. They sent the tallest agents. They were like 6'6", and I was like, "Why? I'm 4 foot tall," but they were so nice, and were like, "Welcome to America. Just come with us. We're gonna do some fingerprinting for you." And I was just so excited, and I started tearing up, and I was like, I'm just a few hours away to see my mom and my brothers and sisters.
Wow.
It was just, I can still feel that moment when
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
of
tell.
it. So it's incredible.
Well, we have so many artists that come through and tell their stories, but I don't think any of them are as powerful as yours. That is it's like a movie.
Thank you. I think we all our stories are incredible. It's just the hardship and what we go through, and that we come out of it into the light, which is beautiful. But yeah, it was pretty dramatic.
Yeah.
But so finally, I went by the immigration, and they, did the fingerprint. They literally handed my green card in my hand, and I was just like, I started crying, and they were like, "It's okay, welcome to America." They gave me a big hug. I was like, "Oh, thank you." And they're like, "We're gonna take you to the next flight so you can go to Baltimore." My family was in Baltimore, so then there they were waiting for me, and I started crying, and my mom, like, I was a grown woman, but I was 14 years old, from 8.5. But I think in life we don't understand, our parents sacrificed so much. The life that we have today, all of us, and I'm just speaking for myself, my mom, she sacrificed everything for me, and all our parents, they do that for us. And we are so blessed to be in this incredible, beautiful country, which is called America.
Yeah.
And I would say my beloved America, and literally kneel down, kiss the ground, because this is the best country in the world. I mean, I don't care what anybody says, but you know what, guys? From where I come from to where I am today, everybody needs to appreciate America more. Just be a good person, work hard, stick to what you're doing, stay loyal, and and I always say that, stay humble. Things will happen for you.
No, I think that's very well said. And yeah, sometimes people kind of run off in the mouth. They have no idea how good they have it, when it comes down to it. So you kind of started your music career singing Farsi songs, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's kind of how you found music, was doing Farsi songs, and then you switched to the English language. And explain that. So how did we find music? You've now back in America, or here in America, and where did the music come from? Where did that kind of start?
I remember when I was like 5, 6, there was the Iran-Iraq war, and it was just really like uncertain times. We didn't know what's going to happen. And I remember my mom, she would like cook dinner, and the kids, she's like, "Guys, it's going to be fine. Don't worry. We're all protected." We would put music on, and the louder the bombs got, the louder our music got, and we would just like break dancing. We would do like flash dance, and like Footloose, and like Jackson's, ABBA. We would have like disco night. It was just, and I think music was such savior. Like, it saved me in a sense. It transcends us to another place, and it's so transformational that I was like, oh my God, I wanna help other people in the world to feel this feeling, because it's just the most incredible feeling in the world.
Yeah.
So, and that's how, for me, we were just in this bubble. Doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. Like kind of like COVID, when all of that happened, we were at home, but we were doing the things we wanted to. We can play music, we can cook, we can watch movie. We were like very westernized already.
Right.
So, but yeah, that's where it stems. And as far as the Farsi, second question, my brother, they would always sing, because dancing and singing is forbidden. It was like, now the past few years it's gotten a little bit better, but not like as far as the dancing, but for the men to sing, But as far as like that, it was like forbidden. So we would just have house parties. That was it. Like, we would just have house parties, and my brother sometimes would sing, and I would admire it. But I wasn't shy by no means, but I was shy singing. And so I think it's just something that I had to like get over myself and just be like, you know what, I'm going to do it.
Okay.
So.
And then I know now you have 2 albums under your belt, right? 2 studio albums, and I know I think there's a live album and such that people can check out for sure. And we'll make sure to post up all your details on our website so people can go and find that, because it is a fascinating story. And
Thank you.
And how did it become a professional career for you? How did you? Where do you remember the moment when you said, you know what, I want to do this in a professional manner. I want to kind of chase this dream.
Well, we own our own label, which is it's a blessing.
Amazing.
My partner Rob, I'm just so blessed to have him. This whole project wouldn't have been possible without him. We always talk about changing lives and adding value. And I think music is just so powerful that I was like, I wanted to have a piece of that, of my childhood, to kind of bring it back and to tell my story through my songs. We have so many songs that we were like, okay, we have to narrow it down to 21. And so they literally tell the story of my life. Like when you listen to the songs, it's like, if you ask me, okay, why did you do that? And I'm like, okay, and I'll tell you exactly why.
Right.
So, and it's just been so inspirational for me, and I'm just so grateful again to my SHAB squad, my team, and my amazing partner, Rob, and we're just so grateful. And also, that One Suitcase album, all the proceeds of it goes to a charitable organization, amazing charitable organization called Choose Love, which the headquarters is in London, but they're all around the world, and they help misplaced people and refugees around the world and in U.S. obviously, and to kind of show that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and to give them hope.
And I know that's a big part of what you're trying to do.
Correct.
And not just put out music, of course, have fun, but there is a message behind it. There is a meaning.
So when you guys out there, when you support this album, One Suitcase, you're really helping so many people that need the love and the help.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about that song. You touched on it, obviously, everything in that one suitcase for 14 years of your life, if not more. What was the creative process behind that song? And then, of course, the rest of the album. How does SHAB as an artist approach the creative process?
That's a really good question. Actually, I've been very blessed to work with a legendary producer called Dallas Austin. And I'm sure if you look him up, he's done stuff for Madonna, Pink, TLC, and now me. And I was lucky enough to be invited to his house in Atlanta. And we got to meet because he always likes to meet the artists. He's at a place in his life where he just wants to make sure that's good. And he loved my story. He loved us, and we loved him. And we told him about the story. He's like, "Oh my God, this is an incredible story, so powerful, and you're such a fighter." And we were like, one suitcase. He's like, "Okay, let's think of something around that one suitcase with everything you own." I think the song "One Suitcase" is actually the first ballad I've ever sang, and I've been through so much in my life that I didn't want to sing like a sad song. I was like, I just want to do a dance and, lots of like EDM and, whatnot. But this song is so powerful, and I think is really my refugee story. But anybody can really relate to it. I think at the end of the day, we all are in a suitcase. We have a suitcase with us. We're going to another city for a job, and we don't know anybody. And, we eventually find our people. I always say that. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I think a lot of people can relate to it. Really, anybody.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
It's such a beautiful story.
People maybe not the the literal way of a suitcase, but yeah, we all kind of have our own suitcase that we carry around with us that stays with us no matter what.
Exactly.
No matter where we go. So I can appreciate that.
100%. And I think the second question, I want to make sure I answer all your questions.
Just the creative process when it comes to writing and creating the music.
So when I was working with Damon Sharp, and I know he's also an amazing, legendary producer. He's worked with names of Jennifer Lopez, and he did the song "My Love Don't Cost a Thing" and Ariana Grande, just to name a few. He's my brother from another mother. And he's an incredible soul. He believed in me, and I messaged him and got a message back. He sent me a couple songs, and my first album is called "Infinite Love," which we played on the number 8. So we called it Infinite. So we have 8 songs in the first album. It's a great album, actually. And so I used to write poems and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was like, wow, maybe I can turn my poems into songs. So I went back in my writing, sketching books, and I was like, okay, let me see what I can come up with. And I would send him, lyric ideas and as well as beats.
Yeah.
Because I really, I didn't have the opportunity growing up to do the things that I wanted to. I was just kind of I was in survival mode. But it was just kind of a cool process. And he's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. So we had this thing that I would send him. So then I started working with some new producers where they would just throw me in a booth and okay, we're going to write a song in today, hour and a half. I'm like, Lipstick was literally written in an hour and a half. Wow. The rest, some of the 6-7 songs of the album were written in the studio, and I sang it at the same time. So it's just you're just getting familiarized with the song, and you're just literally singing it that same day, which it was kind of cool because I like to be kind of throwing in different things. Because that's how you learn as an artist and you grow. Sure. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Okay.
Yeah, so a little bit of a conglomeration of all kinds of different ways of approaching it. And you mentioned Lipstick. That is going to be the next single, if you will, coming out in June. We're excited. We're actually going to give a little bit of a sneak peek right here on Hits 96 so people can hear it a little bit early. What should we know about Lipstick before we hear it? I know you just said you wrote it in an hour and a half, but obviously it still means something.
Yeah, Lipstick is just so much fun. I think of it like kind of like an 80s vibe and like retro, but it's like it's sexy, cute. I can see like girls singing it for their together, and or they can just like dance sexy for their guy. It has like that kind of like vibe for me when I think of it, and I think the 80s kids will like it, and I think the new kids, like the new generation, they'll like it. And but yeah, it's a fun song, and it's like, don't take yourself too seriously. No, like life is too short. Like, don't sweat the small stuff. Just put some lipstick on and be fabulous.
Excellent. Well, we're happy to play that one, and we're happy to get the word out there about that, and that's exciting stuff. And I'm glad that the album's doing well. Obviously, the feedback, I can only imagine, has been pretty good so far from the audience.
Definitely, we've been getting some incredible feedback. I mean, we had our release, our soft release in London, which Choose Love, this beautiful party, album release party for us, and but we're getting so much like positive and amazing press, and there's a song for everyone. There's 21 songs.
And there's a lot.
And it's like, I mean, even for me when I listen to it, I'm like, these are really good. I'm like, let's go, baby.
And one thing I wanted to mention too, you've been called a genre buster, because you're kind of taking from all over the place when it comes to your influences and the type of music. Is there a type of music that you haven't explored yet that you're looking into, or have you ever thought about doing something? I mean, you're doing so much.
I do. I love the classical, like Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald, and Diana Krall. I would love to do like a jazz album, and I also love to do like a meditation, like a spa, kind of like a chill you out kind of music, and be like, let's go to this place today, and I'm gonna take you through like everything is gonna be fine. There's something cool like that. That's down the road, but right now, I think the reason I have so many different genres because I was exposed to so many different music through my life. I was in Turkey, like Turkish music, and Persian have the belly dancing beat. Germany had like the techno and like early '90s vibe. And then when I came to US, I was in Baltimore, and I would say Wu-Tang raised me because it was the first time I ever heard like hip hop. I was like, this is cool. I got hip hop and R&B. I'm like, okay, this is I'm liking this,
Yeah.
And then of course, then we started going to DC, and DC nightlife. It was just like off the hook, and they had like the EDM and the dance, and so I was like, okay, I think I like them all, so I'm gonna like sprinkle a little bit of everything in my album.
Right. And you're able to do that too with your own label and making that happen. You have that flexibility, which is great. That is amazing.
Thank you.
SHAB, thank you so much for stopping by today. This has been so much fun. We're going to learn more about you. We're going to follow you on social media.
Thank you.
I won't have you read all the Instagram info and all that. It's going to be posted up on our website so people can find that. Plus, we'll link up on our socials as well so people can do and follow along on your journey because you got lots going on.
Absolutely. It's been a wild ride. And I just want to also thank my fans out there, and also my new fans that are just joining me. I want to take you guys on this journey, and it's going to be incredible. Just come with me. I have some great surprises in store for you, and I'm going to take you guys on this journey with me. And let's go. Let's see where this takes us.
Well said. Yeah, no, we're here. We're in it for sure. And you're going to do a special treat for us too. We're going to play an acoustic song. People will be able to check that out on our website in a little bit, and that will be at hits96.com. SHAB, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate you so much. Congratulations on all the success. Good luck in the future, and you'll have to come back around and spend some more time with us, okay?
Absolutely. I love your beautiful city so much, and I will definitely be back. Thank you so much, Gino. I appreciate your time.
That is SHAB right here on Hits 96. Boom.